afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for the Egyptian Economic Center for Strategic Studies, Dr. Abdel Latif, of course. Very honored to be here in the presence. Also very happy to be hosted by CIB and Mr. Mohammed Sultan. CIB is one of the biggest financial institutions in the MENA region, and I'm very happy that it's an opportunity to put under the spot. Okay, ممكن من أول slide بس هي دي تمام. It's because the frame completely different than what we started 10 years ago. There's a lot of possibilities now and a lot of risk appetite to go there in the such a project. So ارجع أول slide. Okay. Okay, I'll try to make it very short. We are Biodiesel Masr. We are a biofuel producer. What we actually do is we produce renewable diesel, which is completely alternative to conventional diesel fuel, sort of green fuel as we used to say. It's completely being manufactured out of used cooking oil. So yes, we collect the used cooking oil out of falafel and tamaya to horeca systems, from household, from any activity of frying in household or any horeca or commercial system. We collect this type of used cooking oil or this type of waste. It's not a waste anymore as the definition, it's a feedstock. And by our technology, we produce biofuels, which is considered 100% alternative to petroleum diesel that been used in commercial engines, fleet engines, generators. Now we have a new product which is bio-marine fuels for the shipping industry. What we actually do is we collect every day from all the corners of falafel, full tamaya, burgers, fast food supply chain. We collect this type of waste. We also have a big project of collecting from household, where we try to redeem the waste and prevent the housewives not to spend the used oil or pour it into the normal sewage, because this causes huge issues for the state to clean that oil and make a very big problem of recleaning the oil and try to make it much easier to expose. Also, we have applied a sustainable education, social education for the household wives, that they include all this as a revenue stream from redeeming and recycling the material of used cooking oil. The basic idea is very easy: the hydrocarbons and the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates is the energy we consume as a human being for every day, and this is our main topic when we go to some diet or regime to decrease the weight of. We look always to the carbohydrate content. The hydrocarbons is the same type of energy, but it's for engines. Chemically, we treat the used cooking oil into our plant, 100% Egyptian technology. We transform the used cooking oil into biodiesel by our own technology, which has been very suitable and convenient for exporting to the European market. The biodiesel industry is very big in Europe because there is a mandate in the European countries that they cannot anymore use diesel fuels inside passenger cars, commercial cars, or whatever the activity is, without blending biofuels in it. This is mandate started, the whole industry started 2006 to 2007 and became a mandate in 2012, and by 2014 it became a normal law for all the fuel and energy distributors that they work in the energy sector, that they cannot do any more standalone petroleum diesel. They need to blend. So we collect all the waste from all over the country. We transform it into biofuels, very high quality biodiesel. We export it to the European countries. We have our own terminal in Alexandria Dkhela port, and we also do exportation by ISO containers. So we do two options of exportation. We have this in the left bottom corner, which is ISO tank. It's like a container, normal shipping container, but it's a tank. So we move it, we plug in and pump the fuel inside, and we can also export by bulk terminal from Alexandria, where the ship comes to the platform and we start filling the fuel to it. This is the product, how it looks. This is the biodiesel, actually as a very specialized product coming from Egypt. Biodiesel name is used cooking oil methyl ester. This is the scientific name, so it's Yukomi. This is the name being known. We are very specialized to produce biodiesel according to the cold climate, because in Europe, 9 months of the year almost, it's very cold over there, so sometimes the fuels start gelling and start become solid, and it's not liquid anymore, which is very complicated to the fuel distributor. So we have very specific type of fuel that we produce, very bright in the right side. These fuels reduce the emissions, greenhouse gas emission, up to 84%. There is no other way than changing the fuel to reduce such a massive amount of reduction. Greenhouse gases, 84% of the emissions. The idea that you don't need to change the engine, no modification for the engine, no modification for the fleet, no modification for everything. It's just a drop-in fuel. You need to switch the type of fuel you use, and dramatically you reduce the greenhouse gases. So it's the definition of sustainability coming together with the other project that we are building. The founders and the team, me and the rest of the founders, this company established 2013. In 2016, it been nominated by Forbes Middle East as one of the fastest growing startups in MENA region. The team now, 10 years of experience of producing biofuels out of Egyptian waste, 100% technology and 100% feedstock and 100% material being fabricated in Egypt. The numbers for the company is growing very fast, but the most important part for me is spot the light on the other opportunities to produce biodiesel from the waste stream we have. Yes, we have 2.2 billion tons of, or liters of oil, used oil, being consumed, because this is vegetable oil. This is the food cultural we have in Egypt, that we fry a lot. We fry everything. We fry for main food and main feed. Even for the animals, it's part of the dietary system of the animal feed. But now we have a big opportunity to invade the desert. We have been studying this for 10 years to start utilizing the wastewater coming out of the sewage treatment plants in the desert, in the back desert, Al-Dhahir al-Sahrawi, in the normal governments that we have, to start producing energy crops, depending and relying on the wastewater. So we utilize, it's one-stop shop. The definition of sustainability is we use the wastewater, we treat the wastewater, we use it for producing energy crops, so we cultivate the desert, to make the desert green. We take the energy crops into biodiesel. The energy we do, or the transition, the energy transition we do in the biodiesel, it goes to Europe. The crops waste, agriculture waste, transform into energy on site. Then we start reduction of the greenhouse gases from the whole circular economy. We end up with a very good projects like green hydrogen that now is the trending everywhere, and we end up with massive opportunities of penetrating the startup scene in renewable energy in Egypt. So the basic idea, this is Castor, the second company or the sister company, which is Castor Masr, which means castor oil Masr, the company that produce castor, kharwa, out of wastewater in the desert. We go there in the desert, we use the water to cultivate the castor. We take the castor, 50% of these seeds is oil. The oil goes to Biodiesel Masr to produce it into biodiesel and sell it to Europe. The waste, we take it on site and we do biogas out of it. We take the extra energy from biogas, we do extra electricity generation on site, and we have stream of water, like 20,000 cubic meters per day from one single plant in treatment plant in Bani Suef Gedida. This is where the location is. So the idea of going to the desert, we have more than 1 million fidden now ready to be cultivated, and we have massive amount of wastewater that, according to the Egyptian regulations, it need to be treated before being dumped either on the desert or on the River Nile. So we made a shortcut of not to treat the full or the triple treatment being used and spent energy and efforts to use it. No, we use it for cultivation in the marginal land, the desert, never been touched before. No competition with food, no competition with feed. We just go to the desert and use the water. And we have very good approach to produce waste, and we are very happy and proud that we can, at the end, if you look to the bigger frame, we go to the desert, we cultivate energy crops, We take this oil, we export it to Europe. The foreign currency comes to Egypt. We sell it with the Egyptian banks. We end up with a very bright model. We've been there for 10 years trying to do this. And I am very happy that the entire community of investments, the financial institutions like, of course, Mr. Mohammed Sultan representing here today, CIB, the investors, the other people that looking, it's completely different than what we've been started 10 years ago. 10 years ago, nobody could understand that sustainability is the trending era. 20 years ago, it was globalization. Now it's sustainability. So we are very proud to produce biodiesel Masr as one of the solutions that we are really hope, and a big hope and dreams to, it's not a commercial project rather than a patriot or national project that we hope that Egypt could really do this as a hub for renewable energy in the Middle East and MENA region by producing biofuels out of our own waste and became energy dependent. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mahmoud.